Your React app might be leaking memory right now and you have no idea. There is no error, no crash. Your app just gets slower and slower until it breaks. I'm Vinton. Let's get into it. Alright, first, what actually is memory leak? Alright, so think about your memory leak like a whiteboard. Every time your app does something, it writes to that whiteboard. So whether it fetches data, whether it renders a component, whatever it does, it writes it to that whiteboard. Now, after each action, your app should basically remove or to erase that whiteboard. Now, when your app fails to clean that whiteboard, then you end up with a memory leak. All right, so this example on the left is a classic example or a classic case of memory leak. Now, if we realize in the component did mount, there is the fetch users that is called. Now, when we look to the fetch users definition, we realize that it is awaiting the fetch from the API, and also in the same instance, it is actually setting the state for user. Now, this is actually a problem here, because what we realize that even if the user were to navigate from this page, what would happen is that this fetch would still be happening in the background, and it would be trying to update users even after the user would have been navigated, and it would lead to this error: can't perform a React state update on an unmounted component. So this is definitely a poor way of doing this, and it definitely leads to memory leak. Now, when we look on the more refined beta version on the right, that actually prevents or helps to prevent the memory leak, we realize that the use effect is employed here. And what the use effect does, it tells React that, hey, I want this component to run as it appears on the screen. Now, getting into the code, we understand here that cancel is initialized and it is set to false. Now, this canceled variable will be our switch. So we'll use it to as a form of a bistable variable, or a switch, for want of a better term. Now, this is our function definition, fetch users. Now we realize that it is set to async as well. Now we have our res that will be coming back from our API, and we also have data. So here is where we would convert the raw response from the API and we'll put it into a format that JavaScript can understand. Now here is the important part. We're saying if not cancelled, set users and pass data which is our data coming from the API that would have converted. Now, after this, we're saying if this passes, then we're able to call our function fetch users. And this now becomes our cleanup function. We're saying in the return, we're saying set cancel to true. So it means that we're actually, in effect, we are erasing the whiteboard. We are removing what was placed on the whiteboard. And of course, setting the array to empty here at the end of the use effect, we're saying only run this once when the component first appears, not every render. So it won't keep on doing over and over. So this is a clear case of fixing memory leak to make sure that your app doesn't run slow or isn't laggy or buggy. So hope this helps. Memory leaks is one of those things that nobody ever teaches a beginner. And they wonder why their app feels slow and broken and clunky. Now you know. If you missed my last video about mistakes that AI make, you can go and watch the video. The link should be somewhere up here. Yeah, somewhere up here. All right, so just like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you want to see more videos like this, pure English, real code, no fluff. I'm Vinton. See you in the next one.